All right, good afternoon. It's afternoon when I am filming this live stream, and as usual, I'll make it public right after. But this is going to be going over some of the progress I've made in July and some of the purchases, some of the many purchases, might I add, that I've made in July. So, without further ado, I've already got the layout power turned on, but I'm going to talk about few things, and they are situated right in front of the camera. These containers. These three are Walthers, and I just had them lying around for right now because I've got my intermodal set stowed away. But looped these three in with a Amazon purchase I've made. So they'll be featured on an intermodal train at some point in the future. Let's see. Hey Matthew, thanks for joining for the short period of time you're on. Appreciate you joining. So now we're going to get into rolling stock. I'm going to select the 6262 on this guy and power it up. Hey Kyle, welcome. I'm going to lower my camera just a little bit. If it will go down. Yeah. If you missed the previous stream, this is my Walthers SB60M Triclops CP6262. Excuse me, CP6262. And we will discuss another Walthers product first. USLX 26728. This was a purchase I made at the NMRA Southeastern Region train show that was held in Decatur, Alabama, late June. And I bought this and several other Walthers freight cars. I will admit, Walthers, at least from what I've experienced with Walthers in the past, they've been stepping up their game, especially in terms of freight cars. This came with metal wheels and KDs, so can't go wrong there. So I'm going to run this around one more time. And while this is running around, I'm going to focus on not a new locomotive, but something I've upgraded here recently. And if you remember from the February stream, I purchased an Athearn Genesis SD80 Mac in the CSX Yellow Nose 2 paint scheme, CSXT 801. I was able to purchase a Loke Sound 5 sound decoder along with a speaker at the Decatur train show and successfully install it in the 801. So I'm going to slow this CP down, and then I'm going to to deactivate the CP. It just silenced. It didn't really power down. But I'm going to deactivate the CP. That way you guys can hear my 80 Mac a little bit better. And it's all the way down at the other end, but not for long. So it's not perfect. The speaker acts kind of funny every now and then. Sometimes it plays loud and sometimes it kind of, I don't know if it's a short or anything like that, but it tends to play kind of quiet like it is right now. But you can still hear, I can still hear it just fine. Looking back, the 80 Macs were some of my favorite EMDs. And spoiler alert, I actually have 3 of them in HO scale now. 1 CSX, which is what you see right in front of you, and 2 Norfolk Southerns. But we'll address all those later on. So, I did some research on this engine, and funnily enough, I actually have seen this engine in person as Norfolk Southern 7218. I have a short of it on my YouTube channel, and the model has an RS3L on it right now, but I went with a K5LA. That's because that's what the prototype had back when it was with NS and for CSX for a period of time. It probably wore an RS3L at one point in time, but most everything I've been able to find of the engine blowing a horn has been a K5LA, so I opted to go with that. And I was able to use my Loke programmer that I got a while back to upload the sound file. Uploading sound to this thing really isn't that difficult. They have sound files on ESU's website, and you can type in what engine you want or what prime mover you want, and they have a whole package of it. And you can download it to your computer, upload it to your engine through the Loke programmer, and change it as you see fit, and it's really not that hard to use. One thing I have yet to figure out is lighting functions. And I have a friend of mine from up here in Huntsville who worked with the lighting a little bit and got it really set up really cool. Set up in such a way that looks like the engineer or the conductor going through the engine and turning the lights on bit by bit. But unfortunately, due to my inexperience with a Loke programmer, he used JMRI. I use a Loke programmer. I overrode all his changes, and he's away from Huntsville right now, so I'm stuck with what I have right now. Clasp lights don't work as well as I'd like them to work, but hopefully that's something he can address when he comes back. And it's kind of weird because he's used to using JMRI with this, and I'm trying to learn with a Loke programmer. Installing sounds on this guy is easy, but lighting and other stuff like that, you got to know what you're doing. But that's it. That's Loke sound installed in this engine, and I have many more to go. Some of which have sounds from another company, and some that have no sound in them at all. This didn't come with sound at all. So there will be other engines akin to this one that I will install Loke sound decoders in. And while I'm at it, I'm going to bring my other SD80 Mac up here. I think that's... Oh yeah, I couldn't really hear it that well from down here, but it's powering up. Yeah, 2018 was only 6 years ago. Hard to believe. It just goes to show you how quick things can change on the railroad. So this one has an RS3L horn programmed into it, and I haven't really done much. Well, yeah, I have. I've looked up videos on the 7204, and it did have an RS3L. One of my favorite train horns, if not my favorite train horn of all time. But this has... You can't see it very well. Actually, let me reverse it and bring it out onto this track. Yeah, this is 10 years since I've graduated high school, so it's amazing how much time flies. I saw that. I've already gotten the 4316. I think that sets pretty much the same as I saw it a couple weeks ago. Don't think I've seen the 4303 just yet. But here it is. It's in the thoroughbred paint scheme. And probably can't make it out as well. But there is PRR lettering right under the number. And the Conrail version of this had the PRR lettering for the Pennsylvania Railroad. And I don't think the NS version of this carried that lettering, but this Kato model has it. So this is Athearn, and this is Kato. And I also have NS 7210 that is in Kato, but it did not have VCC and sound. It was just straight DC. I've tried running it before, and I took it to my workbench to take a look under the hood, and I have not had the opportunity to purchase a decoder or a speaker, mainly because I'm trying to figure out how everything's going to go up in there. Had a friend look at it with me, but he recommended buying a speaker exclusively for a Kato SD80 Mac, but I just haven't had the time to really sit down and do anything with that just yet. But all that's to say, the reason I haven't, well, hold on one second. Yeah, that'd be really cool to see the 1877 at work at the Hootenanny next week, especially if it led something. Looking forward to seeing you there. I'll be right back. I'm going to zoom this out right quick. And here is the shell of the 7210. I haven't, well, as I've said before, it's really hard to get the shell of this off. And it's largely in part because of these. Let's see, I don't know if you can see them or not. There's two tabs under here. They both have a little bit of gray. Let me see. Here. Whoop. Uh-oh. And here. These two are very difficult to take off. So for right now, I'm leaving it disassembled until I can get a decoder and a speaker and rig this thing up properly. Actually, I'll talk a little bit more, and maybe you can kind of get an idea of why this isn't as easy as it looks. My main concern about this, and actually, let me go grab the chassis. So here's the chassis. My main, so there's a 8-pin decoder right in here, and I can take these two plugs out and put an 8-pin adapter to an ESU program, ESU decoder. The ESU makes 8-pin adapters attached to some decoders for models like these, and the biggest hurdle is going to be how to install the speakers, and as I alluded to earlier, there are folks out there that custom make speakers for these guys. So that's probably the route I'm going to go. but it's just getting everything in here that's going to be the challenge, because this is how the model gets lit. These clear tubes at the end of each LED, and you can see some more of these up in the shell of the engine. That's how the model gets its lighting. But once I get this thing upgraded, I will be sure to feature it in a, model train hangout. My words aren't coming to me right now, I apologize. But yeah, when I get it finished, it'll get in a video on the layout sooner or later. But I'm going to put this back on the workbench. I just wanted to show you guys what I've been working with so far. Okay. Next order of business. I think I'm going to back the 7204 up. And now we can talk about some freight cars. Some more. The 7204 I got from a friend of mine, Jacob Oliver, from up here in Huntsville. And the 7210 I got from another person I know up in this area who happened to pick up a pretty good bit of model trains from somebody who didn't want them anymore. And along with the 7210, I purchased this engine. This is an Atlas Silver Series D8-40C NS 8695. I never got to see one of these engines in person. I think NS started storing them and eventually selling them right as soon as I got into rail fanning, so I never got to see one of these in person, unfortunately. This engine is DC. It does not have a sound decoder in it yet, but that's going to be in the cards once I finish with the 7210 and all the other projects I have going on right now. And between this, repairing freight cars, and eventual speed matching, I have a lot on my plate. Just with model trains, and that doesn't include all the video editing and everything else this hobby comes with. But that's the last engine I have to discuss, and now we can get into freight cars. So I'm going to put this back. I've disconnected one of my yard tracks because I don't want to short anything. So we're going to pull the 801 Ford a bit, because the rest of the new freight cars are on here. We'll talk about this one first. from having tinkered with it a little bit and put KD couplers on, this looks like an Athearn single intermodal well car, NWCX 978. And this came with two containers, 45-foot Maersk Sealand and a 40-foot China shipping. And it also has metal wheels on it that came with the model. But since we don't do PSR on this railroad, I'm going to take this off the train and store it. And another thing I got from the Decatur train show is a storage box. And yeah, I'm snacking on something in the meantime while we do this stream. Now I'm going to increase the elevation of the camera. Don't think that gives you the greatest idea of what's inside, but it can hold a pretty good bit. I'm pleasantly surprised. And behind the storage box is a box of kits that I have yet to work on. So I'm gonna bring this back down. Gently as I can. And I'm going to take these containers off and put them over here with the rest of them until I feel like running my intermodal set again. I about stepped on the cord to the LNWI, for lack of a better word, the Wi-Fi router. And yeah, you gotta be careful. But let's see, what next? Take this off and bring the rest of the train forward. We're going to talk about the freight cars. We have I picked up two gondola cars from the Decatur train show. And the 651 374 and the 651 216. I can't really see a manufacturer on the bottom of these, but my intuition tells me this is an Athearn or something like that. I can probably figure out from a Google search. Well, that'd be my first place to start. 7 people. Welcome, everybody. I'm going through stuff I got. So I'm going to bring 801 forward. Yeah, see the speakers doing the thing again. Hello, welcome. So here we have a coil steel car. I believe this is a Walther's kit because it looks to be similar to the CSX one I was showing off in, I believe it was the previous stream. But this is EJ&E 7129. Some of the grab irons on the side of this car are missing, but this is one of those items that I'm stocking up on for the future. Steel coils and just steel in general are something I'd like to have featured on a future model railroad. So I'm just picking up stuff when I can. And the next car is not a kit. It is a Walther's train car, MKT 14040. This looks to be a really old steel coil design, or at least the covers, these yellow things, look to be pretty old. So I thought it was a cool purchase I'd pick up. Yes, Andy, my layout is DCC. And I have several DCC sound engines on the layout. I have, let's see, the CP engine, CP6262, and the CSX engine back there, the 801, are the two engines that I'm using on my main lines. The 7107, the 7204 in the right-hand corner here are all sound. And I've got two BNs, two Santa Fe's, they're both sound. And you may or may not be able to see this, but I've got an NS and another Santa Fe unit back there that are DC no sound. The other Santa Fe is DCC compatible. And the jury's out on the NS engine. I haven't had time to really dig into it yet. Yeah, I'm all about some train shows. I'm of the mindset that's where you can find your best deals and meet like-minded modelers, and I feel like online shops and model train shows are kind of where the hobby's going. So I'm always happy to support a train show, especially if it's local. Next, train car. I'm really not sure what type of train car this is. Well, manufacturer train car. I know it's an auto rack car. For the Santa Fe, let me take this off right quick and see if the undercarriage can tell me anything. I don't know. If somebody were to tell me this is a Walther's, I believe them. Yeah, Mobile, Pensacola, and Gulfport pretty much are the only three for the Gulf Coast. Around the Mobile area, anyway. I know the show up in Decatur was the first one. Heck, I might take this one off. It was the first one in 6 years, I want to say. Not 100% sure on that, but I want to say it was the very first one in 6 years. And I thought it was a pretty good turnout. Didn't have much in the way of model railroads, but had a pretty good bit of vendors. I'm working with my storage box right now. Yeah. Let's see. Comments. Yeah, next model railroad I'm going to do is going to be either Atlas Flex Track or Walther's Track. Yeah, always meeting people in the hobby is always cool. So, we're going to talk about some more purchases. 4 Walther's boxcars I have here, all from sort of local railroads close to Mobile, which is where I went to college. And we have 2 Mississippi export boxcars, the 863 and the 890. I've gotten footage of the modern day Mississippi export over in southeast Mississippi. And a good friend of mine actually has the real Mississippi export running through his front yard. So that's cool. We used to go over to his place to hang out and wait for trains every now and then. So anything kind of local to that area is something I always try to pick up at train shows or if I see it in a hobby shop somewhere. And the next car is New Orleans Public Belt Railroad, NOPB 4017. Again, another railroad that's kind of local to Mobile. You can still see some of these running around on modern day freight trains, although they will be for different railroads and will look very tattered because they're very old. And the next freight car is, if it'll stop, it's not stopping. Oh, well. We'll discuss this one later. Terminal Railway, Alabama State Docks, TASD 78319. This is based primarily out of Mobile. Used to see these guys a lot of the time. All the railroads in Mobile interchange with TASD because they basically handle interchange traffic with every single railroad as opposed to everybody having to interchange with everybody. NS, CSX, and CN and all those guys, and AGR, they just interchange with Alabama Terminal Railway. So that's pretty much it for the box cars. I've got 3 more purchases to talk about. And we get into cement hoppers. So I made a decision recently. I have packed up my wood chip hoppers, my Meridian and Bigby's, and after I took them to the Decatur train show to run on the layout there, because they don't really behave very well with switches on this model railroad. So I'm storing them until use on a future model railroad. So instead of wood chips, I've opted to use cement or sand or whatever for some of these 2-bay hoppers. And these 3 I have right here, I picked up from Cadence's Rail Yard. If you've heard of that, it's a guy who sells used model trains. Some cases they might be new, around the Nashville area, and he operates mostly out of antique stores, but just from what I saw, I was pretty impressed with the selection, because he knew what he was selling. He knew the quality of models he was selling. I think these 3 are Atlas, and I know I picked up some Bowser kits that are going to be featured in a future update. So here we have Tennessee Central. This is one of the ones he went over in a very large haul he picked up. And it's more local to the Nashville area. It is currently, the Tennessee Central trackage is currently operated by the Nashville and Eastern Railroad. But this was something very cool to pick up. And all these were pretty unique road names. I'm going to move forward a bit. Here we have a Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, a Burlington route, 2-bay cement hopper. Well, cement, sand, whatever the heck you want to use it for. It's just a 2-bay hopper. I haven't decided officially what the industry is going to be called, but I'm really leaning towards cement. This is CB&Q 182409. And the other one was TC 6005. Let me see what manufacturer, if the manufacturer is on the bottom. I want to say some of these were Atlas. So the Tennessee Central is Atlas. Oop. Can't see a manufacturer on the Burlington route one, but I can feel weight around in there. I haven't looked too closely at my Bowser kits, but this may... Hold on. This may be a Bowser kit. And we'll move on to the next one. And the next one is Great Northern 11... Well, no. It is Great Northern GN 71129. And I do see that this one is a Bowser. So I like what I have so far, and I feel like I'm building up a pretty good bit of rolling stock. So as far as new purchases go, that's just about it. Whoops. Wrong engine. So I think I'm going to decouple the CSX and replace it with the NS and see how that goes. I like the sound quality of the NS motor much better. I'm not sure what's up with the speaker inside the CSX motor exactly, but I'd like to take some time to get to the bottom of that. Eight likes already. I appreciate you guys tuning in, watching, and liking the streams. And if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. It would really help the channel out a lot. We crossed 900 subscribers not too long ago, and we're sitting at right about 910 now. So we're getting ever closer to 1,000 subscribers. This okay. Now I'm going to reverse the CSX. Seeing all the different engine variety makes me really want to sit down and start learning all about speed matching, but it's just time is really the only thing that's keeping me from that. I think I'm going to do a little bit of switching too. How's that for a face reveal, huh? Man, I'm sorry about that. Too many dadgum cords. Apologies. Okay. I'll throttle it up instead of throttling down for a bit there. Okay. I like to have all my cars organized by load and type because that's pretty much the way it's done in real life, so that the railroad can get a certain number of cars to their customers. They kind of group them all together. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm putting the cars with steel coils in them up front because they're heavier, and the empty stuff is going to be behind. Notice we've had 3 people watching the stream pretty consistently, so thank you guys for your time and for putting up with the occasional technical difficulty. I just got a notification on my phone that storms are entering the area, so it might get loud here in a little bit. All right, done with switching for now. Let's run some trains. Oops. Once again, wrong engine. So a little bit of discussion about how things have changed. I have alluded to removing wood chips from the model railroad and instead adding a cement industry. So right where the CP is passing and where you can see those two bay hoppers over there is where the wood chip loading facility used to be, and I've added the cement loading facility there instead. And where the wood chips would get unloaded back at the paper plant, that empty track you probably can't see, but it's right behind the SD80 Mac at the very far end of the layout, is going to be a locomotive track for an engine that is going to work the paper mill, which is where all these box cars are over at this end of the layout. The Sioux line, the blue box cars, and all that other stuff. That's where the paper products are going to get loaded at. And the local that is going to be based out of the paper mill on the old wood chip unloading track is going to take the box cars around the branch line to this turnout and put them in the yard where I have all the engines. And then I'm going to have another local that takes those cars and some cement cars and comes to the industrial park in the middle of the model railroad and works the cement loading plant and the distribution center where all the containers are. So, in removing the wood chip hoppers, I've effectively added another train to the model railroad and another commodity that the mixed freight can drop off and that can be serviced. I also alluded to ops in the future, so I'm going to see if I can't bring some friends over during the next stream or a future stream and operate this model railroad. And here's a bird's eye view of everything. Yeah, it's not big or glamorous by any stretch of the imagination, but it's built for a small space, it's finely tuned, and it's functional, and that's what matters most to me. Yeah, that's cool. I aspire to have a bigger one in the future, though. I'm trying to think of something else I can do because the past few streams have gone on for about 2 hours, and I'd rather y'all not watch trains running in circles for the next 40 minutes or so, or trying to think of how I can mix things up here. Nine likes. I think that's a new high for a live stream. Thanks for whoever left that ninth like. And I think I gained a new subscriber midstream, so if you subscribed, I appreciate it. What can I add to this? Ten likes. Wow. Thanks, everybody. Once I'm able to start speed matching, I feel like I'll be able to run some pretty cool stuff. And I've got a bunch of cool engines, it's just a portion of them don't have sound in them, and I don't want one engine to drag the other along. I would like for them to run smoothly together if at all possible. Yeah, I'm not sure how well ESU and Tsunami work together. Um, I imagine if you fool them enough, they will, but it's just one of those things where, again, I need time to sit down and learn how this stuff works. Seems like everything's running pretty smoothly, though, I'll have to say. I think I'm going to mix things up. I think I'm going to tinker around with something. This is a lifelike Boise Cascade box card that I got. And it looks like the only thing that I have to do to this thing is install grab irons. So I think I'm going to grab my tools and let you guys watch me do that. And I'll try to keep an eye on the stream chat in case somebody wants to, talk model train or something like that. Grab some tools. I only see 10 on this one. Maybe it hasn't updated yet. Let me grab my tweezers and Got my glue here in case I need it. Okay. Gonna bring this down. It really is. YouTube has a mind of its own. Computers in general have minds of their own. Let's see. Instructions. Okay. Let's see here. Ooh-doo-doo. Okay. Eight ladders. 4 side ladders and 4 end ladders. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's see, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4 rods for the door, and a brake wheel. Brake wheel is the most obvious. So I'm going to get it out of the way first. Ladders. Okay. Okay. Trying to work on this and have it in a good orientation where you guys can see what I'm doing, and that's a bit of a challenge. Let's see. Oh, I just throttled up my 80 Mac on accident. There we go. Okay, I got 2 ladders installed on this end along with a brake wheel. And now there's 6 more ladders to go, and there's going to be one here, here, here and here, here and here. Okay, some of these are longer than the others. Yeah, I see that 11th light now. Thank you. Wow. Interesting. That 12th may show up once the stream finishes or something. But if you've liked the video, I appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. And that's the other side done. Without a brake wheel. Now we continue on. This one doesn't want to cooperate very much. Doesn't seem to want to cooperate either. And it's getting stuck to my fingers too. Well, we got these two on. So moving over to the other side, and that's all we'll have to do as far as those ladders are concerned. And last, oh, that's great. Wound up on the floor. There it is. Gotta be careful. Let's see. Cool. Now we've got 4 vertical rods, and the instructions say there's 2 types, and it looks like it's the type on the right for us. Yeah, so we got 4 of these guys right here, and for these doors, they're all facing downward. Get in there. It's that side finished. Now on to the next one. Okay. I can hear it starting to thunder outside. And just like that, it's done. The instructions, well, the box advertised that you could do this in less than an hour, but I think we might have finished this boxcar in about 30 minutes. And Looks to have some variant of easy couplers on there, but I think I'm going to, where is the cap to my super glue? There it is. Reckon I'll add this on to the Southern boxcar I have here, and add it to the train. Okay, I see that 12th light now. Internet must be acting funky. May have something to do with the weather, I don't know. Hey, Jeffrey, welcome to the stream. Six people, 13 likes. Wow. We're continuing to set a record for model train live streams here. Well, wish her a happy birthday then. Okay. Well, that's good. Honestly, some of my first memories were of my parents and my grandparents taking me trackside to see trains as well. Oh, Chicago, yeah. That's where it's at. Love to make it up to that area one of these days. Nice. I used to ride Amtrak when I lived up in Greenville, South Carolina for a couple years. Yeah, last time I rode Amtrak was behind. I forget which engine it was, but it was one of the Heritage units. I see NS and CSX a pretty good bit all the time, but it was one of Amtrak's special engines leading my train, the last Amtrak train I took. I just can't remember which one because their numbers kind of run together for me. It was one of the P-42DCs. One of the Phase 2s, I want to say. I either picked them up from a hobby shop or ordered them on Amazon. The crossovers you see these two trains rolling over were most definitely excuse me. They were most definitely Amazon purchases. but most everything I've always had or picked it up from a hobby store. Amtrak's recently started using Siemens ALC42 Charger engines, but those have had quite a few teething problems, especially starting out. Haven't really heard anything about them lately, but they've had their fair share of problems. "14 likes, awesome. If you've liked, just know that I appreciate it, and I would also appreciate it if you subscribed if you haven't done so already. So thanks for tuning in. Blowing the horn for the rail fans out there. That was thunder. We have 18 cars we're pulling on this mixed freight behind the SD80 Mac right now. So for the August live stream, I'm definitely going to start getting to work on more of my kits. And I have some new engines lined up. They just have to come in. But next month, you guys will see what those are. And maybe I'll make headway on some of these engines I have here. I'm probably going to call it a stream here soon because I'm kind of running out of things I can realistically add. But hopefully next stream I can have something more for you guys in the way of engines and locomotives and speed matching progress. Well, that's awesome. Kyle says we have 15 likes on this live stream. I still only see 14, but we'll see how things go at the end of the live stream. Gotcha. Okay, everybody, I think that'll wrap it up for our live stream. Thank you all for tuning in, liking, and if you've just subscribed, I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. I hope you check out some of my other content as well. We'll try to have one in another month if I don't forget about it like I almost did. I usually have these towards the start of the month. but we will see how things go for the next couple weeks or so. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I enjoyed hanging out with y'all. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to check out my other content. And y'all have a good one.